Hey, so we're going to have a shave tonight with an old razor I haven't used in a very long time. It's kind of on the aggressive side of what I usually like. I'm also going to be looking at a new soap, to me, Cold River Soapworks Schappenmelk, if I'm pronouncing that close enough, I hope. And this is something new they came out with in the last maybe month or two. And they are returning to kind of some of their old, an old Dutch recipe, I believe. That was kind of the start of what was their business adventure or whatever. And you know, it's going to be something like the Mitchell's Wool Fat or the Haslinger Schappenmelk or Schappenmelk. It's going to be kind of like those. This is a used tub, and it has kind of that similar scent, that lanolin type, and I think it's lanolin and tallow, so I'm looking forward to trying that. It's probably going to have great feel, great lather, and something new to me for a while. Man, it's been a year or so since I've tried Balzano, but in my recent conversations with somebody else who has taken razor blades to 100 uses, he gets those from the Balzano blades. The first time I tried it in a few different razors, and it didn't do very well for me. But you know what? With shaving, in many cases, it's good to revisit things after a while. This blade does have one use on it, and that was a long time ago. So let us... the razor is the machined version of the Blackland Dart. And this is one that is definitely on the... Man, it's gorgeous. I'm going to polish this head up someday. Right now, you know, I saved money. You can get the unpolished version, the machined version here, and it doesn't look all that great if you like the shiny stuff. However, it's just stainless steel, and you can just get a polishing compound, and I've got a Dremel, and so I think I'm going to be in good shape. I'm going to do that one of these days. All right, so the Balzano Superinox. Let me show you the blade right quick. It just was kind of rough for me. Who knows? Maybe my technique wasn't on point. And maybe it's a mistake to try what was a rough blade in a razor that is also on the aggressive end of my spectrum. Well, we'll just see what happens. The brush I'm going to use has a CravingShaving handle, and it's my Stirling Finest Badger. So I'm looking forward to trying that out again. This will be the maybe second time I've used this handle with this. Maybe the fourth time total that the knot's been used. First time was amazing. Really enjoyed the feel, but that first handle it came with just kind of wasn't my thing. All right. I did something a little different today. Yesterday I shaved with that Manchurian and the knot from Elite Razor. And let's see, 34 is where we're going to start. I took Mitchell's Wool Fat and I built up a lather at the end of my shave yesterday. And let's see, 3404, all right. Built up that lather, and I made sure that all the bristles were covered, and I just set the brush like this on the shelf, and there's 30 seconds. And I wanted that. I've heard that was a good trick. I've used it a few times to kind of help soften bristles a little bit. All right, look at this. This is already looks terrific. And so I was hoping to accelerate that Manchurian because its backbone was just a little too much for me. It wasn't splaying very much. It was difficult to keep splayed as I used it on my face. And so I thought, let's try to use this and see if it moves things along. And so I couldn't resist as I rinsed that lather off, it having been on for 24 hours. I just used my my bar soap here and lathered up some, and so my face has been cleaned prior to the shave. So my first pass may not be dealing with nearly as many face oils as it has in the past. All right, a little quick A little water there. And then we can start mixing up. I have loved this handle the first time I used it. I got a feeling it might be one of my favorites, just being a good size for my hands. And we kind of immediately are getting kind of some pastiness right there. It's kind of on the, a little bit of drag, feels like maybe it's on the dry side, and that is just fine. And I'm going to put in a teaspoon of water. We'll have to see if 30 seconds is a good load time. It sure looks good. I'm going to go ahead and just put the other teaspoon in there as well, because it still looks fairly dry and not really anywhere close to voluming up, you know. So I'm certain that's not going to make it have too much water. And I like Cold River's products anyway. I also like the fact that they brought this one along because it's either $8 or $9 on their website. Now granted, by the time you tack on shipping, it starts to come closer to other soaps and stuff, but I mean, I think that's a great deal. I'm really happy that they came up with offering that to people. Yeah, this is looking nice. Wow. Because it's great to get a hard puck at a low price. It's probably going to last a good while. I think it could be a really good service to the shaving community. Just show you what we've got so far. Big, pillowy lather. You can kind of look at it that way. I tried the polished version of the dart because it just was gorgeous. But apparently when they polish it, it changed the geometry slightly. Maybe it opened, gave more blade exposure. And since this machined version was already right at the upper limit of my enjoyability because of the aggression, that extra exposure just put it over the line for me, and I had to send it back. This just looks, it's got a shine, it's got elasticity, looks terrific. Let's do a little finger test. A little bit of resistance there, nice slickness. I definitely feel the ridges in my fingerprints, so why don't we just go ahead and stop mixing. Since this is a new guy, I don't know what to really look for. Maybe I need to keep going, but let's just gather it up into a clot here and show you what we've got. Big old guy, look at that. Now let's get the big guy to drop. Look and see what he looks like, yeah. So I think that's probably a good sign. Maybe needs I don't think it's too wet. So if it needs anything, a little water will probably polish it off. All right, so I'm gonna put a little bit more water on my face. 1 day's growth is what we're dealing with. And the lather is built with my sink hard water. The brush here is kind of staying together. It's kind of not one display. So we'll see how that shapes up. I could maybe put, if it continues this way, I could just throw in a little bit of height to the loft by yanking the knot and putting a washer in there. It's kind of giving me the impression that it needs a little bit more water, so see what happens. Yeah. Now just to kind of lay down the layer there. Feels good. Not much scent to speak of. It's kind of a clean lanolin, you know, kind of scent. Not quite as strong as the Mitchell's wool fat. All right. Now, been a long time since I've used this razor. The normal angle that I usually shave with is, in the past, has not been good for me with this razor. And I found that this one works better if I ride the safety bar, meaning I bring the handle in a little bit more than average so that it lifts the blade up, puts a little bit less pressure on it, and then I can get a great shave. Oh, now that's nice. But one thing, on the first pass, I can kind of use my normal angles because that's when I kind of need that aggression to just mow down that first pass, the longest growth. Now down it, but then on my neck, I get a little bit more conservative. And so I bring that handle in. I watch my angles carefully. And so by changing the handle angle, for me at least, this becomes almost like a dynamic adjustable razor to where I can control the aggression with that handle angle. Man, I forgot how it was to shave with this razor. And the Balzano so far is working really well. That was a little tuggy right there. Maybe yeah, I'm not getting a lot of secondary slickness, so I better make sure that I only shave on lathered areas. All right, rinse. All right, well that went really well. Happy with that. I think I need to hope the brush will splay more and stuff. I intentionally left some just excessive water on my face to help to hydrate the lather. I think I need to add a little bit more to it. Let's get that done. Should have added it to the bowl and mixed up kind of a wetter batch. Yeah, this knot is kind of staying kind of dense. but we'll use it some. See if it relaxes, expands out, you know. Hey, I got a built-in Nike swoosh. Alright, now cross grain on the cheeks. Handle in more now that I've cut a lot of the hairs. Don't need the aggression. This is just one of the few razors where I ride the safety bar like this. Most of them, that standard angle is just fine. All right, very nice, quick. It's so efficient that it just doesn't take too much. All right, rinse away. All right, third pass of lather. I did go ahead this time and add some water to the bowl. It's a nice scent. Picking up a little bit of it as I'm kind of agitating the air around. I think I like it a little better than Mitchell's wool fat. There is a little bit of interest to the scent instead of just being kind of a clean linen. It's a little bit more than that. Looking forward to experimenting with this with other brushes, known brushes. This guy's young, so we don't know quite what he'll be when he grows up. Lather is just superb. Feels great. It is obviously creamy. And it looks like it's protecting well. So it looks like they made some really good decisions on this formulation. Again, I need to focus on keeping the handle in. Can I do this? This is the successful stroke that in many cases gets this area right here really well. But it might be, this razor might be too aggressive to do that. Might stir up a little bit of irritation, so I'm just going to tread very lightly. I'm going to switch to with the grain there, or cross grain. Well, happy with this Balzano. I think sometimes the dart might benefit, at least for me, with older blades, maybe in the 20 to 30 count use, because it since it's right on that aggression level, that can really help to smooth out the shave, make it a little bit more comfortable for me. All right, I'm pretty sure I got an amazingly close shave. I do feel just a little bit of irritation in a few spots. That's kind of standard for this level of aggression razor for me. So there was a little bit of irritation as I rinsed away. I felt some dings where maybe my, I don't have any, oh look, a little weeper right there. Oh, two of them. Yeah, on these are bumps that kind of stick out a little bit, and so occasionally they do get nicked. So, any others? Yeah, I felt some stings with just a simple cold water rinse. I didn't even do any alcohol or anything like that. So I definitely knew I was going to reach for a balm at that point. And going for the Tuscany from Stirling. Really like it. Kind of a cherry scent, but with some like a wild cherry scent. It's got some tweaks to it. So that'll help my help re-nourish the lost skin layers. Well, I guess if they're lost, you can't really re-nourish them, right? But skin layer's gone, so we need to rehydrate, help the skin to heal itself. So this balm will go a good way to do that. My skin recovers pretty quickly. I've got oily skin anyway. All right, so that's a little light because I applied a little bit more than I usually do, but it'll absorb in just 5-10 minutes and it'll be fine. Face will feel good. So I used about 4.5 teaspoons of water. It looks like I probably should have used about 5 or 5.5 because since I had to do so much spraying for the first 2 passes. How much lather do I have extra? A good bit. 2 passes, something like that, maybe even 3, depends. And so I did lather for maybe 33 seconds. I habitually was cleaning up the puck, and I ended up lathering it for a little bit extra. So maybe 25 seconds next time. Try that maybe for this particular mix. This guy's, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use this lather, since this is a lanolin based. I'm going to give this guy the same treatment that I gave that Manchurian. I'm going to rinse the handle part off, but I'm going to leave the bristles as covered up in lather, just like that. And I'm just going to sit him on the shelf and 24 hours and see if we can help him to relax a little bit. All right, I'm going to clean up. Good shave. Face is recovering. I'm sure in 10 minutes it'll be fine. Just a little bit of rawness is the feeling that I have right now, and that's kind of what the dart can generate. And the Balzano may be partially responsible for that too. But it worked out. I kind of expected it to be a little more of a disaster than it was. But I'm really happy with that soap. I think it's a great buy. I think the performance is just really good for a $9 soap. So highly recommend it. Not recommended if you're big on scents and you like a soap with some kind of characteristic or strong scent. This is not going to be for you. It's easy going, it's mild, and to some people that might be extra attractive, but performance was really, really nice. And to be honest, just a little bit lower than the top tier soaps maybe. I might play around and do a little more comparing later on, but that's my first impression. So to me, highly rated performance category is where this soap belongs. Really happy with that. It's a thirsty guy, thirsty. Most 30-second loads don't require more than 3 teaspoons of water, and this needed maybe 5.5 when all is said and done. But that's okay. I don't mind feeding a soap water. In fact, that often means that there's less water in the soap to begin with, and then that means that this soap that you've purchased is going to last a long time because you're able to use less product per shave. So that would be my guess as to how this soap would stack up as well. So really nice. So I've also taken that brush. Oh, he's starting to that's a kind of a wet lather, so I'm going to do a little bit of wiping since I've got it up on a shelf. I don't want him to drool on other stuff. But yeah, we will just have him sit with the lather on him for 24 hours and see what that does. Tomorrow maybe I'll do a bore, get back to my borathon, maybe do a Simogue. I tell you what, those little bores, this is more in the realm of density. Gives you a great feel. There's nothing like a good badger feel, but there's also nothing like the speed of those little bores because there's so much flow through in them because they're not quite so dense. And then when you put them on your face, they just kind of splay, super easy, massagey action. It just feels terrific. So I'm happy either way, and that's nice. It's nice to have variety, and I enjoy that. All right, so pleased with the Balzano, and and pleased with the soap. And the razor pretty much how I expected it to be. It was enjoyable, and the quality of shave that I got, wow, really, really close. So that's the payoff. Tolerate a little bit of irritation, a little bit of razor burn maybe. Mitigate that by a used blade, a well-used, well-seasoned blade. It's had some uses put on it, but you are rewarded with a close shave, really close shave, closer than average for me. So there we go. So I hope this shave has helped you out a little bit. And this is Sugar Daddy Shaves. You take care. Have a good night.